Yo, how's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and welcome to another review of the Pokemon Journey series. Today we're going to be covering episode 130 in today's review, and it is part 2 of Ash vs. Leon. How was this episode overall, and how is the battle going so far? Well, before I get on to the episode review, you guys know the drill. If you're new to the channel, if you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It'd be pretty awesome if you would do that. Now, since Ash lost Gengar in the previous episode, he takes out Sirfetch'd to go up against Mr. Rime. An interesting choice considering Sirfetch'd has a type disadvantage against Mr. Rime, but he surprisingly holds his own. Even after losing his shield for a little bit, he still manages to hold on. The main thing that he accomplishes in this battle is shutting off psychic terrain by basically slashing the ground a bunch, or the icy ground I should say, and it shuts it off. I guess that's Sirfetch'd's main thing, at least for this episode here. It's kind of similar to how he shut off Stealth Rock in the previous battle, though these were done by different means. One was using his shield, and this time he's using his leak. But yeah, anyways, Ash recalls Sirfetch'd and takes out Lucario. Now this was a shocker, but Ash Mega Evolves as Lucario, literally this early into the episode, and goes up against Mr. Rime and struggles a little bit, as again, Lucario is fighting type and psychic type is not a good matchup for Lucario, but I like how Lucario manages to basically Ultra Instinct its way using its aura to defeat Mr. Rime with an Aura Spear. I don't know, I thought that was pretty neat. But yeah, Leon loses his second Pokemon, so Ash is still technically in the lead. But this is where things get a little complicated. So next up, Leon takes out Dracovish, and Ash ends up recalling Mega Lucario, which I thought was interesting. I was not expecting Ash to recall Lucario here. But anyways, he takes out Dracovish. I thought it was kind of funny how Dracovish here actually uses his Dreepy like a rocket and just flies it off at Dracovish. I don't know, something about that just looked really funny for some reason. Dracovish almost eats one of the Dreepies. But anyways, there's an interesting part in this battle where Dracovish's fangs on its belly suddenly get stronger or something like that. I was a little confused by this scene, but it manages to trap Dracovish, who's about to land Dragon Tail right on Dracovish's head, and it starts to freeze him as Dracovish basically locks on and bites into it and basically got Dracovish's head in its mouth, and it's freezing it up. And as we're about to see Dracovish get taken out, it immediately gets recalled, and then Dragonite is taken out. Yeah, literally Dracovish just goes back to his Pokeball and forces Dragonite out. Which I don't believe that's U-turn, but that was a bit of an interesting twist. Now the battle here initially between Dragonite and Dracovish is rather brief, but at the end of it, Dragonite gets hit with a single Dragon Tail in the head and then immediately switches. And this time, Mega Lucario comes out. And yeah, this is this part of the episode is really hard because yeah, Lucario ends up getting paralyzed and then gets hit, I believe, with Fire Blast, or at least a fire type move. Someone correct me in the comment section down below. But anyways, it takes a super effective fire type move and goes down. And just like that, Lucario is down already. Ash's second Pokemon to go down is frickin' Lucario. And he's also utilized 2 gimmicks at this point. All he's got left is a Z move. So yeah. So then Ash takes out Dragonite to go up against Dracovish for a second round. So hi everyone, this is Mitchell Mander from the future, literally from the future. I'm just interrupting the review just really quickly just to say that yeah, it was actually Flamethrower that took out Lucario here, not Fire Blast. So I'm not sure what I was thinking. Maybe my eyes were a little blurry when I was watching it earlier in the morning because I watched it as it was airing. So yeah, I just wanted to correct myself there, so you guys don't have to correct me in the comment section down below. But anyways, enough interrupting this review, let's get back to it. So moving on to the final portion of this battle, we have round 2 of Dragonite versus Dragapult, which I thought was pretty interesting. I like how Dragonite sets up Dracometer. You think that's going to be the main attack, but no. Dragonite, I think it uses Hurricane grabs onto Dragapult and just slams it to the ground like seismic toss. It basically pulls a Charizard. And just like that, Dragapult is out. Dragonite gets a W for the first time in almost a year and a half. Finally, Dragonite gets some redemption here, so that's awesome. And not only that, Leon is down to 3 Pokemon. It's the first time that he's actually lost more than 2 Pokemon in a Pokemon battle. So that's an achievement that Ash has already got just in his battle. He's already kind of surpassed Diantha in that regard. So that's kind of cool. But anyways, the episode comes to an end with Leon taking out Rillaboom, his 4th Pokemon. Now, like I did with the previous episode, time to talk briefly about cameos. We didn't really get a whole lot this time around. We did get a few, so when it comes to Sirfetch'd, we got Wilkstrom, which I was expecting that. It was very brief, but we got him, and we also got cameos of Bee and Karina. So those were our new cameos for this episode. I was expecting some more, but seeing as the Z move is coming in the next episode, we're probably going to maybe see the Alola gang and maybe see some others show up in next week's episode, but that's to be seen. Another thing I wanted to note, which I found pretty interesting, is that this is the first episode within Journeys that Go didn't appear at all. Whether it was in a flashback or in person, he wasn't in the episode at all. I'm wondering if that's going to be the same for next week's episode, since he's not there. We'll see, but when it comes to this episode, Go didn't make an appearance. Now overall, I think this was a pretty solid episode. I actually enjoyed it a little bit more than last week's episode. And I think the title does it justice. Leon is pretty much toying with Ash. Even though Ash has taken out 3 of Leon's Pokemon, all of Ash's Pokemon have participated at this point, and they've all sustained a little bit of damage, or they're a little bit exhausted. Whereas Leon has 3 fresh Pokemon, with his Cinderace having only used 1 move, and then was recalled immediately. So technically, even though Leon has lost more Pokemon at this point, he still has an advantage. But I like the tension here. I like the unpredictability. There's so much unpredictability going in these episodes. And even next week's episode with the whole Eternatus thing, which I might talk about in a video tomorrow, maybe. But, I just like how unpredictable it is. I was not expecting Lucario to go out so early, for instance, because I was expecting it to last at least maybe be like the 3rd or 2nd to last Pokemon in Ash's team to basically be taken out before Pikachu comes in and saves the day. I figured they'd be saving Pikachu for last, and that Lucario would probably not get like the final W this time around like he did in the Cynthia battle, excuse me. It's kind of similar to when Ash defeated Gladion with Lycanroc, but immediately in the Ash vs. Kukui battle, Lycanroc was taken out. And likewise here, Lucario loses pretty early on in the Ash vs. Leon battle, so I like that similarity there. But I gotta say, one thing I'm satisfied with is that Dragonite got a W. Thank you. Gengar gets a W, Dragonite gets a W. And I guess Lucario got a W too, so 3 of Ash's Pokemon have gotten a W, so who's taking out Rillaboom and Cinderace? That's going to be interesting to see, whether it's Sirfetch'd or Dracovish or even Pikachu shows up. Who knows? I don't think Dragonite is going to last very long against Rillaboom, if I'm being completely honest. I'm just happy that Dragonite got a W here. Now, usually when I see the preview, I usually save my thoughts for the actual episode. But I'm actually really curious to see what's going on, because I was under the impression that Ash vs. Leon was going to be a 4-part battle. But we're already getting Gigantamax Charizard versus Z-move Pikachu in this episode. And also, Eternatus seems to be up to something, whether it's just Gigantamax in the Pokemon or whatnot. But I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. Are we going to get like a cliffhanger ending where we don't know who wins the battle at the end of next week's episode? Like they're doing their final clash and then it just cuts off? I'm not really sure. I think that would either be like a good or bad thing, depending on how things are executed. So I'm very curious to see what they do next week. I'm super curious to see how this battle is going to end at this point, considering what we see in this preview for episode 131. But anyways, guys, that's really all I got for this episode review. So I thought it was a really solid episode. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Maybe even a 9. Who knows? I'm going between either an 8.5 or 9. It's a pretty solid one, so it's all going to depend on how this battle comes to an end. So we'll see how the rest of it goes. So in the comment section down below, post your thoughts. What do you think of this episode? What do you think about Lucario getting taken out so early? And how do you think the rest of this battle is going to go? Seeing what we see in the preview for episode 131. Post your thoughts in the comment section down below, and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And guys, have a great day or night wherever you're at, and I'll see you all later. Bye.